I am Dr. Carolyn Edwards, and this is Get Your Life, the show where we talk all about our lives and our journeys, and the hopes that the journey that we take will give you the courage to do the same. Today, I am here with LeShonne Liebman. She is an entrepreneur and she is amazing. She's going to tell her how she got her life. And that is what we're going to talk about, her businesses, her journey, and I hope you stay with us. Welcome, LeShonne.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming. I just want y'all to know that my guest that was supposed to come on didn't come today. So LeShonne was ready. And I tell people, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So she is ready. And I want you to tell us, LeShonne, tell us a little bit about your businesses, the names of your businesses, where your businesses are located.
So I'm here to promote the Hotspot Studio,
Okay.
and we're located in Miami Gardens, Florida, 19401 Northwest 27th Avenue.
Okay.
And I also own a tropical smoothie cafe, and that's located right next door to the Hotspot Studio.
All right. So tell us all about the Hotspot. What is happening in the Hotspot?
So at the Hotspot Studio, that's a place where you can come create, relax, and just unwind from a stressful day.
Mm-hmm.
We offer pottery painting,
Okay.
candle making, succulent gardens, canvas painting, mosaic tiles, slime, soap making, scrubs, all kind of workshops and classes.
Okay. So tell me what gave you the vision to create something creative?
Also, that goes way back.
That's okay. We got a little bit of time. Tell us about the way.
So in elementary school,
Okay.
I was into all the arts. I started with dance
Okay.
from 3. And then in maybe like second grade,
Mm-hmm.
I got chosen to go to gifted for art and music.
Okay.
So I did art for a year,
Mm-hmm.
and then I changed over to music.
Okay.
I played the violin for 6 years, maybe.
Wow. Okay.
So when I went to high school, in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
playing the violin wasn't cool. So I always stuck with dance. So I was in Performing and Visual Arts Center at Miami Northwestern.
Wow.
So dancing, trying to figure it out.
Right.
I'm going to be,
Right.
all of that, right? So when I was 12,
Okay.
my dad got into a car accident and he was paralyzed. So I took care of him at the house right up until the time I went to college.
Wow.
So he said, because I took good care of him,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be a good nurse.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it took its turns, twists and turns.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to college, I first declared my major as nursing.
Nursing, yes.
I did not be a nurse. So I went to business management.
Okay.
Yeah, after some research, whatever. Oh, you could do good as an accountant, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Yeah. So it was minor in accounting, majored in business management.
Awesome.
Yeah. So fast forward, came back home. I went to Hampton University.
All right. Okay, now
All right.
I went to Howard. Are we going to go through this real HU? Are we going HU? We're going to go for both of them.
Love it. Yes. So yeah. So when I came back home, they wanted you to have experience. I majored in business.
Right.
Couldn't find whatever. So then that's how I got to the police department, looking for a stable.
Yes, a job. And the parents kind of push you to find something stable where you can have a paycheck and some benefits.
Exactly. They do. Because I went through all twists and turns. I wanted to go to the military.
Right.
My mom said, no, you going to college.
Okay.
Being a good girl. All right, I guess I'm going to college.
Yes.
So,
but my son is in that same position now. He's getting ready to go off to college and he really doesn't know what he wants to do. So he asked me and his dad yesterday, what do you think I'm good at? Because I'm asking him, son, like, what do you like to do? I will hope that you do something you like to do. And the funny thing is, when I went to Howard, I wanted to major because, as you can see, I can talk now.
Yes, yes,
Wanted
yes.
to major in something where I can talk and be expressive. And I too was creative, and I write books and I wrote stories and little plays, nothing that I published back then, but I also had a creative side. So I said I was going to major in communication so I can do what I'm doing now. And he says, you're not going to spend my money in that. And so I ended up going into the business school also, and I did computers. The funny thing is, when I graduated, I was a programmer and I was stuck. At that time, they didn't have like security and things like that on PC. So you had to be in a vault where everything was secure. Well, I hated it. And I was always sneaking out to go talk to people. So I do feel like it evolves. I do feel like you have to try some other things. Like you figure out what you like and then you figure out what you don't like. Like you said, I'm not going to be a good nurse, and then you went into the police academy. So how long did you stay as a police officer?
So I like that. I stayed there for 27 years.
Oh, awesome. What was it about being on a police force that you like?
Like you said earlier, you have to try some different things to know what you like and don't like.
Mm-hmm.
So in the county, my first job was like a payroll specialist
Right.
at Ryder Truck Rental. I hated that. I don't like to be confined.
Me either.
So I'm sitting at the desk, bored. I would have to go to the bathroom like 59 times. Because it's only because like I have to sit there. I want to get out.
You want to get out.
I would go to the bathroom and I would walk around the building.
Yes.
And I would say hi. I had a couple of friends that I could say hi.
Me too.
And it wasn't for me.
It wasn't good. And the funny thing is, I was able to get a new job before they fired me. I was like, I'm going to get fired. I stayed in the hall. I hated it. So it's not bad. So I'm telling my son, you're going to go through a process. It's not bad that you say, I hate stuff, because who wants a nurse that hates their job? Like that would be the worst nurse ever. You may mess up some people's benefits or like. So I don't see anything that's wrong with that. You have to try and see. So you spent the time in a police force. When was the time when?
So I know why I knew I would like that. I was a police explorer in middle school.
Okay.
But during that time, with the same department,
Mm-hmm.
they had a height requirement. I'm 5'2".
Wow.
So, they change because they need people. So, yeah.
That's
So at that time, in my mind, okay, I can't be a police officer.
right.
So I looked at all kind of stuff. Like I took the ASVAB because I wanted to go, so I'm going to go. And then I'm like, I want to be a pilot. But
Right.
they tell you have to have 20/20 vision.
Oh, and you didn't have 20.
I didn't have, I wore glasses since
Right.
12.
Wow.
But yeah, you got to try stuff. Don't be scared to learn new things. Go over here. That's not your field.
And try.
Be open to doing something different,
Right.
and you'll find your way.
Did your parent, okay, so this is the other thing too, when you're young, because sometimes the parents, and I just found this out, some cultures, you only get maybe 4 or 5 occupations that they deem you're going to be successful. And I'm just like, what about the person that's and none of them are creative. None.
Yeah.
So it's always a doctor, a lawyer, pilot.
Right.
It's a like. So when
The careers that they know about.
that they know about, when did you decide that the creative route was your next step?
So that just came back.
Okay.
So like I said, I spent 27 years at the police department.
Yes.
My son was an artist from 3 years old.
Wow.
in baseball, on the baseball diamond, just drawing in the sand.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
it's coming, get the ball.
Yes.
He kept it up all through college.
Oh, good. College. Awesome.
So he declared his major as pharmacy. He's like, I guess, like second year.
Okay. So it's either pharmacy tech. Okay. So how did the creativity go with the pharmacy?
It did.
Don't. Yeah. I'm like,
I'm gonna
okay.
to that.
Okay.
So like my parents did,
Mm-hmm.
he stayed with the art,
Okay.
drawing, painting.
Mm-hmm.
He sells it online. So he's like, Mom, I don't like this. I want to change my major to art history.
Okay.
So, I remember the talk. I'm like, he need to follow his passion.
Right.
So I was honest. I said, I don't know any artists that can make a living. You got to be able to take care of yourself,
Right.
you know?
And I do. Okay. So maybe back in our time when we went to school, maybe they weren't making a living. But I promise you, it was one artist out of New Orleans on this show, and he would make all these great pictures of current people like the presidents. And I mean, they
Yeah.
selling for 30, 40,000. I think with the internet, it has opened up our minds to what is possible,
Yeah.
or just being able to sell online, because now it's not just selling to the person down the street or the person in the store. The whole world has opened up. People
Yeah.
from all over can buy your stuff, as well as if he thinks I saw something else. And they were talking about this lady that is the person that gets all the art for the hotels. I'm like, I would never have thought about that in terms of selling your art
Mm-hmm.
to the buildings that are decorated. So to me, it just opened my mind up to the possibilities.
Yeah. So because I didn't take that route. So I
Right.
didn't know much. Like
Right.
I said, I didn't know anybody that.
Right. Of course.
So, but of course, like, okay, well, do some research. Tell me what you can do with this art major. And, let's talk about that. So he came up with like curating and selling his stuff online, which he does. So I'm like, go for it. Because I know, like, when my parents told me no, I feel like I could have had some other possibilities.
Right.
So I didn't want to stifle him with, and with his choices and career. So,
And I feel like as parents, as when we know better, we do better.
yeah.
And I just feel like we want to see our children happy, and enjoy their lives and whatever purpose and skills, and
Exactly.
that's where the joy comes from. I feel like when you get to do what you do,
Yeah.
that's where the money comes. That's where you're happy. That's where the joy.
When you doing what you love.
That's right. When you're doing what you love and what you were created to do.
Yeah.
Everybody has a purpose. So yes,
It's true.
and even I will say part of my creative process when I was young, I used to love painting by numbers. What I think I loved was the quiet and
It's
the
so relaxing.
It's so relaxing.
When they come to the studio, that's the first thing they say. This is so relaxing. We have the music playing, and it is.
The other thing I would tell people when they come and do the art and the creativity, it releases stress. It relieves stress. Like you are in the moment, that quiet when you are creating. So I think we were
I call it
creating
art therapy.
it is art therapy.
Mhm.
So that is a whole nother route that you could take. Like I know people that do classes for children and adults that have like ADHD, autism.
2 classes already
All right,
that came there to do
yes,
some. Yeah.
yeah, because it calms them down. It's such a peace,
And
and it's almost like a spiritual thing. Because to me, it brings a piece of you that society may not welcome,
yes.
and you think that you can't make money and things like that. So it brings a part of you back. So I love that. So tell me, you gave it up for a little while, and I know that being creative is not easy. being an entrepreneur is not easy. So, what do you do to stay persistent, to focus, to stay encouraged? What do you do?
So with the art, I would go to like painting with a twist,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yes.
So it came about because of my son. That's why I talked about him.
Oh.
So when I retired, I had already been looking at some franchises stuff to
Oh,
for my second career because I know I just can't sit at the house and do.
to do nothing. Yes.
So the Tropical Smoothie Cafe was the first one.
And I love.
Yeah, that was the first one. So my son was working at Michael's,
Oh.
and I would tell him, "You're going to be the manager there. You're going to be the manager there." And it took so long to come about because they have to approve the locations and this, so it took about 3 years. Long story short, he stuck with us through
That's
the process.
mm-hmm.
So he's been the manager there for 2 years. So when I looked into the last time I went to a painting with a twist,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked into like, how much something like this would cost.
Right.
It was kind of like a reward to him for sticking with us, um, working at the cafe and all of that. So when I started painting, he always painted. It was like, oh, this what it feels like. Like he would be in his room like 2 to 3 hours working on,
It's amazing.
and it was so like peaceful.
It is.
So now when I'm in the studio, I have to force myself like, listen, you have the business side of this to do, financing,
Yeah.
promotion,
Yeah.
getting customers.
Yes.
You can't sit here and paint all day.
That's right.
So the time management, like, yeah, you need to put this down.
Yes.
Because we do samples in the studio. So when you come in there, you can see like the process of
Mhm.
each pottery.
Mhm.
But yeah, I want to do all the
You want to do all the
all the creative.
too.
Yeah.
But like you said, I mean, it's a time. Sometimes maybe he'll do that, and maybe you all will find somebody that you can trust to manage. And I like some of the things you talked about, like the if you franchise, you have to think about the location, and then you have to think about the finance. And you talked about the number of employees you have.
Mhm.
So as people think about starting a business, especially a brick and mortar business, a store, those are some things that you have to think about. Internet business is a little bit different. You may not have all those things, locations. You got to think about parking and where would the people park and things like that. But those are pretty much the same things we all have to do. Stay focused, finance, marketing, advertising, promotions. So I'm going to give you this little thing that I researched. So it says people doing great things often receive multiple rejections. Colonel Sanders of KFC received over 1,000 for his chicken recipe. And then I threw it, Michael Jordan got cut from his high school team and he missed over 9,000 shots in his career. So that persistence
Yeah.
that you need to keep going, where did you get that from?
I think for me, it's ambition. And I don't think you can teach that. It's like once I put my mind to something, I do research it first.
Mm-hmm.
What's the chances of success? But it's like once I put my mind to something I want to do, then I'm gonna make sure it happens.
All right. Mhm.
In my mind, failing is not an option.
Right.
You can pivot,
Right.
and do some stuff differently, a spinoff or something, but it's the ambition that keeps me going.
And I tell people sometimes people will ask, like, where does this positivity, where does this ambition? And I will say those HBCUs play a part too, because I feel like when you see people that want you to succeed, like your instructors want you to
Yeah.
succeed and they pour into you. So you almost feel like I want to let them down.
Yeah.
I want to get out here and do whatever they are pushing me forward to do.
Yes.
So, are there any times where you felt unsure and you wanted to give up? And before you answer, And the reason I ask this question is because social media makes it seem like everything is always roses and happy, and we only get the pictures of everybody doing well. So, did you ever have a time where you wanted to give up? You said it took 3 years for the franchise. Did you ever lose hope?
Well, like I said, so by that point, financially, you so deep in,
You not give up.
you're not gonna give up. I gotta see this thing through.
Yes,
Um, yeah, it was not an
it's
option.
not. Yes, and I agree. And you going back to the business type, a franchise, they have a cost of entry just to have their name on your building. You pay for that. And so I understand what you said. I never thought about you're so deep.
Yeah, the thing about it is, a lot of stuff you don't have to figure out, like
Okay.
the way to operate, because they've done that for you. You're paying for their knowledge
Yes.
and for them to guide you
Yes.
the process.
Yes.
But financially, it's all you.
Yeah. Yes. So you come with the money and they come with the know-how. And they're smart enough too, because like you said, they know locations. They know the business. They know what kind of traffic they need to see, foot traffic, cars, and what other places are around. So like you said, that is something that you would pay a lot of money to have someone to do.
But like you can help them too because with me being police officer, I worked in certain areas. So it was areas that they said that were not their target area
Hmm.
that we were able to be like, oh, I want to meet with the president because this is a good area. And he actually came and looked at the area.
Great.
But then there's other stuff you have to consider too. Like, okay, this place is not like in the rent budget. Like they're gonna charge you too much rent.
Yes.
They want you to be successful because you're successful, they're successful. Like they get royalties. So
Yes.
they want you to.
Yes. And my other thought would be you don't want to put a business where the income of the people that live in the area, they're not going to pay for.
They do the research for all that.
Right, right. So I'm thinking as you went forward, is that why you chose a an established business, a franchise versus doing it yourself? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Chances of success are greater.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And I think
At the time, it was one of the fastest growing franchises.
wow, okay. We just got one down my area. And I can tell you that they have a good product because I used to drive from my house and go 2 cities over to get my tropical
Oh,
smoothie.
nice.
Oh yeah. So they actually know what they are doing. So if you had so let's say if someone came to you and asked you some questions about going into something creative. Okay, so you have tropical smoothie, but then the hot spot, that's not a franchise.
It is.
It is. Wow, I never heard
It is.
that. Oh,
They've been franchising for 2 years now.
wow.
So we're the first one in the Tri-County area.
Wow, okay.
They are.
Um,
They've been franchising for 2 years.
wow. See, you taught me something I didn't know. I had never heard of the hot spot. I thought that was your baby. And then you had one franchise and one not franchise. So you're gonna kind of let one flow and
Yeah, what happened was like I was saying earlier, I looked up painting with a twist
yes.
and then this came up. And once I started reading up on this, they offer so many more crafts than just painting.
Right, right.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I got all
I
that.
love too because
Like-
everyone doesn't want to paint on canvas. I like that you have plant little you call them succulent.
garden.
I like that. And then the slime, like who does that?
Candle
And
making.
candle making because you have a little bit for everybody.
Yeah.
And I like that too. I have never physically gone to a painting with a twist per se, but I have done like little painting things, painting parties and stuff.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that would be more open and you will have more people that will want to do different things. So and repeat customers because I may paint a canvas this week. I may want to do exactly, exactly. I want to get back to the point where you said you offered for the owner to come down. And I was listening to a podcast with the lady from Shark Tank, and I can't think of her name. But what she said is one of the things that women don't do is they don't continue to ask. So in that situation, you could have just had the manager say, no, that's not a good area. But you went above and beyond, like, hey, maybe this is a good area. You can come and look at that. Did you ever feel like you didn't go far enough to ask questions?
We still like pushing because one of the locations that they led us to, I was wondering like how is that even a location to offer?
Wow.
Because as I drive by, it's like blocked by trees.
Mm,
Um but yeah, it's okay to question them and say, yeah, I don't think this is a good location because it is or because of that. And
right.
this one is a better location. So yeah, don't take no.
And that's the biggest thing. So I would say that's one of the lessons. Don't take no as the final thing because although they have data, you have location that bitch I
There.
you live there.
Yes,
You see
they're in
no,
Atlanta.
exactly, exactly. So I would add that on my list of one of the great things to do. So if you had to give someone some advice, all of the lessons that you have learned, okay, so I'm going to say one is don't take no as the final answer. What other tips would you give would be entrepreneurs or would be people that's going on their second career or third career or need to pivot? So that might be two questions.
So it's a lot of advice. So if it's something that's your passion,
Mhm.
start there. What problem does it solve? All of this stuff came about because people have a need. What problem does it solve?
Okay, hold that. What problem did the hot spot in the tropical smoothie solve?
So people want to relax when they leave work.
Yes.
They want to find something to do on the weekend,
Yeah.
a place to celebrate with
Yeah.
family, bring people together. And it's nothing negative. It's, you just woosah, letting your hair
Let it
down,
yeah.
creating,
That's right. That's
you feel relaxed. So,
that I would have never thought about what problem am I solving for every business that you get in. Okay, so
and with the tropical smoothie, they didn't have anything considered healthy in the area. We're in Miami Gardens, it's mostly like fast fried food. And the atmosphere is like tropical, it's colorful, it's relaxing,
inviting is very
it's very inviting and warm. The customers feel welcome.
yeah.
If you have good customer service. So yes.
Okay, so no is not the final. Make sure you solving some kind of problem. Okay, what else you got?
And yeah, be consistent and work hard. Don't take no for an answer. And don't let somebody else tell you this is what you should or shouldn't be doing. Because like I said earlier, your parents was like, no, you doing this. No, follow your heart. Because then you can't make that excuse later, like, oh,
It was their
they didn't let me do it.
it was their fault.
So,
And I agree. Even before we started rolling, you said that it all evolves. So even if you get into something and then years later you don't like it or you're finished with it. One thing I find that when you grow and some things you outgrow and some people you outgrow and it's not a negative like
it's not.
it's not. It's just that it's time for me to move on. So I would say pay attention to your body and your mind and how you feel. How you feel. Because you'll know when the time is up.
And be around positive people that don't hold you back.
Yes, yes. Not only that don't hold you back, but that aren't jealous. I find especially I don't know, as a mom and as a woman and stuff, I feel like we have been taught to please and make everybody happy.
Yes,
We're
we are.
unhappy, but everybody else is happy. And so I think you have to be in tune and pay attention when you go into a room. How do you feel? Do you feel welcome? Do you feel wanted? Do you feel alive? Do you feel drained?
Mhm.
Do you feel like they like you? Do you
Yeah.
feel that they're jealous of you? I mean, a lot of those things is energy with
And
it.
accept the truth.
And accept the truth.
Accept the truth.
Those people don't like
It's
me.
the
And sometimes it
and
might
it's
be
your
your family.
Yeah, you know, and it's okay. I know accept it and
Yeah.
handle accordingly.
Exactly, exactly. So I love that you said that, and I feel like when people hear us say that, it gives them permission to know that it's okay. It
It's
doesn't make
okay.
you a bad person.
No.
You're not gonna like everybody. Everybody's not gonna like
And
you.
they're not bad people. They're just not for you. They're
Yeah.
not on
And
the
they're
same.
maybe not for you at that time anymore.
Yes.
Because you could have outgrown them. They could have outgrown you.
Yes.
They
It's
could
okay.
be going in a different direction.
Right. They don't have the
That's
same
right.
path.
That's right. And that's okay. I think
And at the same time.
at the same time, and you may circle back.
Right.
I
Right.
even say, like with my girlfriends that I have one from college that I'm still, I mean, through all of marriage, divorce, babies, deaths, all that stuff.
And they're good for different
is-
reasons.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. I have other friends that maybe I work with. And we
Ones I might travel with, some might work with, some might go to activities that we have the same interests, same
Exactly.
hobbies.
Exactly. And then as you grow older and life happens, you have babies, you move away, all that kind of stuff. That does not make you a bad person. It does not make them a bad person.
No,
It's just
now
that
you need a
season.
new circle
You need a new circle, and the season is
that
up
doing the same things you're doing at the time.
at the time. And they are supporting you, uplifting you. You feel good when you're with them.
Yeah,
Things like that.
yes.
I think we need probably a whole show on helping women to know when it's time to let go.
Hey,
Oh my gosh. I counsel and talk to
you always thinking about people's feelings. You don't make them feel bad, but those certain people, you just don't be around them.
right. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna put that in the chat. It's okay. It's okay to walk away and I always say in love. Walk away in love. It's not a bad thing. Okay, that's a good. I think we got about 10 things that we can give to people to help them move on.
Yeah.
So I would ask you, what is one thing somebody can do today to move closer to doing what they love?
Just move. You're not gonna know. You don't have all the answers.
That's right.
But I think as you move, you'll learn, you know, God will tell you where to move and just be open to learn and hang around people that's doing what you want to do.
I like that part.
Don't and yeah, be open to learning, you know.
That's right. And I had another guest, Gerald, who talked about some people need a mentor.
Yeah.
Like, well, how did you get a mentor? He said he chased them down. He kept asking. He kept asking them to, be a mentor and stuff. And I feel like if the person takes interest in you, then they want to see you grow. The worst thing you can have is a reluctant mentor that just kind of did it to do it. Yeah.
Really nice. So I love to learn. Like I read a lot. I can't really think of any, like, they might have been mentors that not knowing, like my oldest sisters and stuff.
Right.
But I remember like in the police department, we would be assigned, but we didn't really spend any time together. So I would take leadership classes and stuff like that. But yeah, maybe one of my sergeants, they didn't know they were being a
mentor. Right. It wasn't a formal sinus paper. Right. You want to mentor, but you knew somebody that took it.
Yeah, I looked at them and, they would give me books and stuff to read because they knew I like to read and they helped me.
That's right. Reading is what is it? Reading is fundamental.
Yeah.
You can read and learn how to do things. I love reading about leadership, management, about social media, how to market, how to promote, how to advertise, how to grow. It's a book on everything it is that you want to know about anything. So keep reading. Yes. And it's that quiet time. When you read, it's a quiet time. It's that focus.
Because when I was young, it was like Harlequin romance or I remember the Margaret, Are You Here? Little teen books. But yeah.
Well, of course, this interview went too fast. But before we go, I want you to tell our audience how they can find you.
Okay, you can find us at thehotspotstudios.com/Miami-Gardens-FL. That's our website. You can make appointments there, ask questions. It shows you everything we offer. And we're also on Instagram, the Hotspot Studios 2.
Hotspot Studio 2. Okay. Awesome.
Miami Gardens.
All right. Facebook. Now, just remember the hotspot, Miami Gardens. That's right. That's the right one. So I want to thank you all for tuning in to Get Your Life. I hope we have discussed something that gives you the courage to move forward in your journey. And this is not the end of it. Remember, you can download the podcast on all podcast platforms, and you can also find the show and replay it on my YouTube channel at Dr. Carolyn Edwards. You can find me everywhere at Dr. Carolyn Edwards. And before you go, remember, in a world where you can be anything, the best thing you can be is yourself. That's right. Yourself. You got it. So until next time.
I know it gets hard to find the light sometimes. It feels easier to hold on to what's been keeping you down. You were made to fly, so now release, let it go. You were made to soar, so just breathe. Feel your power.